This weekend, we saw one of the best displays in boxing history with the fight with Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. That fight was amazing because Terence Crawford did exactly what he said he was going to do. So one of the analysts said after the win that Terence Crawford was as good as he imagined himself to be. And if you followed his story, you know that he deep down truly believed that it was his destiny to win this fight. He believed that he was already the champion before it even happened. So my question to you is, how good do you see yourself? You know, as they said with Bud, he was as good as he imagined himself to be. So how do you imagine yourself? Where do you see yourself? How do you see yourself in your reality? And that's one of the things that I want to talk about, because too many of us don't hold ourselves to the high esteem that we should. We don't put ourselves on the pedestal the way that we should. And if you truly believe deep down inside that you are destined for more, that you are a champion, that you are great, your reality is going to match up with that. That's exactly what happened with Terence Crawford. So you have to imagine yourself as good as you want to be. You can't just say, oh, I know I'm great, but deep down inside, you don't believe it. You can't just say, oh, I think I should be someone who's making six figures, but you can't see that as your reality. You can't say, I want to be a millionaire, but you don't believe it. You can't grasp that feeling. So when we look at where you want to be, your reality, ask yourself that question. What is the image that you are holding of yourself right now? Seriously, ask yourself that question, and excuse the glasses, they keep falling. But I want you to take a real deep thought and ask yourself, what image are you holding of yourself right now? Is it the image that you see for yourself in 5 years? You know, is it an image that you see, that is the image that you see right now, something that, you lived and experienced 5 years ago? Like, what is that image that you're holding of yourself? That inner vision is what is going to shape your reality. That's always been my belief. And like I said, when I heard that analyst say that Bud Crawford was as good as he imagined himself to be, it just resonated with me, because that is something that I hold dear and near to my heart. If you believe that you are someone who can, achieve greatness, then that's what your reality is going to match up to. If you believe that you are someone who was destined to be, a YouTube podcaster, famous YouTube podcaster, your reality is going to match that. You might not see the views right now, but guess what? It's going to happen. If you imagine yourself to be a millionaire, your reality is going to match that. You're going to see opportunities, business opportunities, ideas are going to come to you so that you can start making that money. It's just a matter of, do you believe it deep down in your soul? And are you ready to take the action to make it happen? Bud Crawford always said he knows that he was the champ. He imagined himself the champ long before it happened. That's what I'm here to tell you. What do you imagine yourself as? Seriously, because too many of us sit back. We say we want all these beautiful things. We want, an exciting life. We want to travel the world. We want thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank. But then when it comes time to put in that work, we're still sitting on the couch watching Netflix and scrolling through social media. You're not putting in the work of a millionaire. You're not putting in the work of a world-class traveler. So what are you doing to step into that role? What are you doing to step into those shoes? When I watched the Canelo versus Crawford documentary on Netflix before the fight, I told my husband out the gate, let me just say, I put money on Crawford and won. I put money that he would win, that he would land more punches, and that he would throw more punches. And I did win, because I watched that documentary, and you could see the self-belief in this man. It was like it jumped out of the screen. There was nothing that no one could tell me that he was going to lose that fight. It just was, after watching that documentary and hearing him speak about his beliefs in God, his beliefs in himself, how he knows he was destined to be the champ. God put him in this place and he took advantage. That's the thing. He didn't just sit around and say, oh, I don't have to train because I know I'm going to be the champ. No, the opportunity presented itself, and he stepped into those shoes. He stepped into that role. And so that's a page out of his playbook that we all need to take. When the opportunity presents itself, step into those shoes. Don't wait around because you don't know if it's going to come back around again. And he was ready. Bud Crawford was ready. Like he said, he's been training his whole life for this. And he stepped in and he showed the world the great champ that he is. And so my question is, when are you going to show the world the champion that you are? When are you going to step into those shoes? When are you going to claim your destiny? Bud Crawford claimed his destiny. It was right there for the taking. When he got the opportunity, he didn't flinch. And one of the things you'll hear on, if you watched it, the documentary, he only got $10 million off of it to Canelo's 110 to 150 million. Why? Because the opportunity presented itself and he wasn't going to risk letting it go. So when are you going to start grasping your opportunities? When are you going to stop letting your opportunities fly past you? Too many of us don't grab a hold when it's in front of us. When are you going to finally claim your destiny? When? You know, your time is now. Don't wait around. Your time is now. One of the things Terence said, you know, he knew he was the champ before the world recognized it. So many people downplayed his successes, some of the past people that he fought. So many people downplayed it, but he knew that he was champion worthy. He knew that he was destined for this. He was destined for greatness. And like he said, he recognized it before the world recognized it. And so you have to recognize it in yourself before anyone else can recognize it. You're not going to get the results if you don't believe it deep down inside. You're not going to, see those, the fruits of your actions until you start to take some action. You're not going to see it. The results will never be higher than you see yourself. I need that to resonate with you. Your results will never be higher than you see yourself. So how do you see yourself? What is that image that you hold of yourself? If you never see yourself making more than $50,000 or $60,000, then guess what? Your results will never go past that number. If you can't see yourself being a well-known, social media influencer or YouTube podcaster or, the next director in your organization, if you can't visualize that, your results will never lead to that. That will never be your result. You have to be able to see yourself in that position before it actually happens. And I know a lot of people say, well, how do I know what it looks like? Imagination. Imagine what it would be like for you based on the information that you have to be a success, your definition of success, to be, wealthy, to have money in the bank, to live the life that you want. Because imagination helps you set the stage. Imagination helps you to start training your brain for more. Imagination helps you to believe and live in that possibility. And once you start to have that imagination, once you let your imagination take off, you start to imagine yourself overcoming the barriers. You start to imagine yourself making more, doing more. So you start to imagine a new reality. And when you start to imagine that new reality, eventually you will begin living that new reality. And that's the whole purpose of seeing yourself in a higher image. Too many of us underestimate ourselves. We don't give ourselves credit. We don't hold ourselves to the level that we should. And so that's why I'm asking you, what image do you hold of yourself? Bud Crawford held himself in a high image, high esteem. And guess what? His reality came true a couple days ago. He beat the top of the top. He didn't just beat the top. He didn't just beat the champ. He stepped up to the champ's level to beat the champ. And so when are you going to step up to that next level into the shoes that you were meant to wear? That's my question. When? I know right now, sometimes I can tell you right now, I'm living it. I have asked for so many things in my life, and I am truly stepping in to those shoes. As my husband likes to say, I'm stepping into my boss shoes. I'm stepping into my big girl pants. He says it all the time. And that's the truth. And once you start to reframe your mind, because I will tell you, it does feel challenging when you elevate yourself to a next level, to something that you've never done before. It is extremely scary. It is something that you've never experienced, so you don't know what to expect. So can cause anxiety. It can cause nervousness. But then once you let yourself accept where you are, and I have been reframing in my head, this is my new reality. I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to do X, Y, and Z. Now I wake up every morning and life is like easy peasy. I mean, I jump on anything that I have for the day and it is just like free flowing. And it took a couple weeks to get to that spot. And so that's what's going to have to happen for you. Even though it's going to be scary, it's going to feel overwhelming. You may not know what direction to take. Still do it. Step into those shoes because it will work out if you continue down that path, if you believe in yourself, and if you hold yourself to an image of what you imagine yourself to be. So I'm going to leave you with this. Ask yourself, truly ask yourself, what do I imagine myself to be? What image do I hold of myself? And am I as good as I imagine myself to be? If you are as good as you imagine yourself to be, then your reality has no option but to match your thoughts and your imagination. So let me know in the comments how great you are. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. And if it did, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and come back for more.